Alright everybody, so finally I have a Spilotes update, a tiger rat snake update. I want to give you guys a little bit of the history. I know I've been a little bit ambiguous about the goings on with these guys. I bought some in 1999, some high yellows and some normals and some striped animals. And I had worked with those animals for probably 5 or 6 years, hatched a very limited amount of babies, and some success, some failure, and I kind of attributed my failure to, or my limited success, I guess you should say, to higher temperatures with me breeding so many boa constrictors at that time. So I got really frustrated, went on vacation, came back, I lost an animal, and I kind of lost it after that, and I sold the whole project. And I went a number of years, and I really regretted it, like so many of us have done before. And in 2010, I just happened to jump online and I saw some of my animals, the same animals, being offered for sale, and actually a couple offspring animals as well from the high yellow line that I had originally started. So anyway, I jumped on it. No hesitation, they were very expensive. I got a couple of animals back, started going that route, getting back into breeding project, and I bought a captive bred female from a friend of mine. Raised it up for 3 years, thinking, okay, this is it, I'm going to do it. I bred my high yellow male to a striped female in that time, and I hatched only like 3 eggs, and only 1 was viable, and I raised that animal up, and it became part of my permanent collection. Unfortunately, it was a male. So getting back to the animal that I purchased as a hatchling, the female, raised her up for 3 years, paired things together, wasn't seeing the activity that I was expecting, and long story short, it was actually a male, it was missexed. So I contacted him back, and the only option was for him to swap me his older breeder female for that male that I had raised up to remedy the mistake. And so anyway, so this year I bred that female. She's an older animal, but I did get some babies. But that's the basic breakdown of the history of my Spilotes project. It goes back a long way, a lot of frustration. But anyway, I'm pretty excited about it now. I've got a really big resurgence of energy and excitement about it. So I wanted to show you some of my animals right now. Very limited in the amount of breeders that I have. The female that laid the eggs is this one right here. This is that older female that was swapped out to make good on that Miss Snake baby that I raised up into adulthood. So this is the female that laid the eggs. She's really good size. She just double clutched. It was 2 viable eggs, and I think it was 5 or 6 slugs. So something is better than nothing. So I'm still very happy with that. So this is basically, at this point, this is my one and only breeder female. Now the high yellow male that I really am trying to continue this line is this guy. It's a one-of-a-kind animal, it's really nice. And this is the high yellow thing that I started working with way back. Really beautiful snake. I just love this animal. It's so pretty. I want so much to be able to reproduce these, and I did when many years ago. Like I said, very limited success, but I did. It is genetic, and I did hatch some high yellows out of it, not many. Now the breeding that I did with him and that striped female about 3 years ago, this is the one viable baby that I got. So that high yellow male is this one's father. So he's not high yellow, he's just sort of the standard look. A little bit of orange, kind of still definitely on the nice side. Now I used the high yellow male as he was my starter breeder. Obviously I wanted to give him priority. I didn't see any breeding activity, but I did have them housed together, and then later on I put this male in there sort of as a backup. And I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure that this dude is the one that sired the eggs that I'm going to be showing you here in a minute. So if you take a good look at him, you know, this is black, very black banded tail. I want you to keep that in mind when I show you the babies. So there is definitely something genetic going on. I don't normally keep them together, but just for the purposes of the video, I wanted to kind of show them all in a smaller area so I could just pull them out and show them real quick. So let's move on to the real exciting stuff. All right, so all my colubrids I incubate on the low side. I'm just as impatient as everybody else, but I just force myself to wait the extra 7 to 10 days or however long it delays hatching, just to reduce any potential for kinking and that sort of thing. You guys, you know, if you're in a hurry and you're incubating at higher temperatures, that is a risk. You know, you'll see your babies sooner, but I feel like experience has taught me that over time. Just wait it out, and better safe than sorry. So I incubated these guys at just a hair under 80. My incubator runs verticals very tall, and so I have the median set at 79.5, and so maybe on the top it's maybe 80.5, and down at the bottom it's basically at that low end of the thermostat what it's set on. So after 72 days, this is what I got. I threw 6 eggs in there. One of the eggs went full term. It was actually infertile, and it didn't show signs of being infertile until the very end. So there's 5 babies, and these guys are extremely active, and they want out so bad. Oh wow, they're all going to bolt out now. All right, let's work with about half here. So when I mentioned to remember the black tail of that male, if you take a close look at the tail of this particular animal right here, the scales down here at the back end have basically some lightened or yellow color to them. That is obviously some sort of genetics of that high yellow trait coming out. And as these animals grow, they will all change a lot, especially after that first shed. They'll be very, a lot more colorful, and then over time they will continue to color up and get even more yellow. So this particular animal with these lightened scales in the back end, this animal is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be really incredible. It's going to be very, very yellow. Let's put that one back there. Watch your tail. All right. And these animals are going to be somewhat standard looking. They're going to be really nice, but as far as genetic traits that I'm seeing, outward traits, they're just going to be sort of standard animals. Here's that black tail that looks a lot like that male, so that's kind of more to the normal side. I'll put these 2 guys back. When they first hatched out, they were striking at me and going nuts, and now they're pretty mellow, which is nice. And as you saw, the adults are pretty cool too. They have a very, very strong feeding response, but they're very smart, very deliberate in their moves and that, so really, really fun animals to interact with. This animal is a clear standout. It has big, big banding, very, very yellow. When this animal has its first shed, it's going to be unbelievable, and over time it's going to also be incredible looking. It's going to be so beautiful. So I'm really, really excited. When I saw this animal, I would almost be inclined to say that this is more like an aberrant animal right here. It's going to be really, really pretty. So that's number 4, and the last one, just kind of sort of standard for what I'm used to seeing, but it's a beautiful animal. These are so rare in the hobby that any viable animal that hatches is really, really vital to the future of these guys. So for me personally, this project has been really, really hit and miss, and this is exactly what my Spilotes project needed, to diversify a little bit and add some more animals to the collection. And it really brings a big resurgence in energy and excitement for this project. Super, super excited. The future of these guys is actually looking really bright right now. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks a lot for watching. Tiger rat snakes. Hopefully there's more to come of this stuff. All right, take care, you guys.